Well, hi. Just me again. Out taking a little hike. Beautiful day. 70 degrees out here. Sunshiny. A little bit of clouds. Hi. Well, hello, baby. Oh, yeah. Neighbors. So, yeah. Gorgeous day. I'm a little worried because this up on the mountains across from me, we've got no snow. And here we are coming up on the end of April and there's nothing up there in snowpack, and that means we're going to have a real problem here with the drought coming up. Let me see if I don't know if you can see them over there, but the mountains are bare. I remember when even in the summertime you'd have snow covering those back mountains almost all the way down. So those who poo-poo global warming, poo-poo right back, because it's here. So this is the lower neighborhood here down by the beach that we're walking through. It might be interesting to kind of see that. I had a really interesting day though. Really made me feel my age because it was I got up this morning and everything seemed to be doing really well. Going good. I got ready for my doctor's appointment. I was supposed to be there at 2:15. So I had got my stuff all together for that. And then, as it does happen, I totally spaced it. And then I looked up at the clock and it was 2:13 and my appointment was 2:15. And man, I went into a panic. I took off, got all my stuff together and hit the road. And then once I took off, and I called them once I was in the car, and I said, hey, I'm running late. I got a 2:15. I'll be there in about 15 minutes. It was 20 after then. She goes, okay, well, you're going to have to wait around when you get here because we'll put somebody else in ahead of you, and then we'll fit you in. And I went, oh, okay, well, my fault. I spaced the whole damn thing. So anyway, I kept driving up there. Long about, I don't know, 10 minutes later, my phone rings, and it's that same gal from the office, and I thought she was going to say they couldn't fit me in. And she goes, Mr. Routh, this appointment isn't until tomorrow. Holy shit. Anyway, I told her a brain is a horrible thing to lose. But anyway, it was, so tomorrow I get to do it all over again. Groundhog Day. I swear, by the time next year rolls around, I should be able to hold my own Easter egg hunt. I'll bury them myself and I'll forget where the hell they are, so I'll be surprised with every one I find. Anyway. Coming up on the beach. I'm going to flip you around here again. Yeah, here we are. This is actually not my park area. We're over here on the other side. Normally I would come down a gate that's up there, right up there, and pathway comes down behind these bushes and out there. But the hill's so damn steep, sometimes I'd rather just walk around and come through these guys' property. This is Mutiny Sands. And we are, I don't think we have a name. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous down here. There's a little breeze. Nothing big. Oh shoot, I forgot to bring my magnet. I wanted to check out the cliff and see, check some of the sand again, see how much magnetite is in there. Because I'm going to bring my sluice box down here in a couple of buckets. Oh, we got a new blue heron standing out there. Let me see if I can zoom this thing in. There he is. Yeah, they are pretty. If you get up and fly, they have huge wings. But he's just sitting there eating, waiting for something to swim between his legs. Okay, well, let's see here what we got. Oh, there he is. He's heading for the beach. Maybe we'll walk down here and see if I can get him to fly. They almost look like they're aerodynamically impossible to fly. There's just something about them that looks like they ought to just drop back in the water head first. Cause I don't know, but they can sure glide. He knows we're coming. Let's see. I'm gonna make a turn down here for the beach by the water. We used to have a different name for these things because yep, there he goes. I glide. Ooh, setting it down. Yeah. They are neat. Out there on the buoys, we got cormorants that are sitting out there. Not quite as big as that heron, but they're pretty good size too. Oh, we got somebody with a puppy. Two of them. Ooh, fun. What are the names? What are their names? Hi. Whoa, yeah. That's okay. I'm filming. It'll go. Yeah. How old are they? How old is this one?
That one is almost 6 months old, and that one's 6 years old.
Ah.
Yeah, they're pretty cute.
They are. I love dogs.
Waiting for the puppy to recognize the, what do you call it, that bird?
Oh, the blue heron.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they'll try to chase them. Of course, they'll never catch them.
Yeah. That's why I just chased him too. I wanted to get him on film flying.
Oh,
And I got him to take off.
perfect.
But yeah.
Well, he may come back this way when we
Yeah.
head down here.
Okay. Have a good one. Almost got knocked over. He jumped up right in, both paws in my chest. Wow. A lot of that around here. The only person that gets any grief when they come down here around the beaches is when the animal control guy used to come around. I don't think we have an animal control anymore. I think it was a girl. She got fired, I think. She was writing too many tickets and pissing everybody off. But we have a leash law. But when you own the beach and everybody on the beach just wants to let the dogs run, it's kind of like by popular demand, we don't have a leash law here. So every time they'd come down here looking to see if they'd write somebody a ticket, man, everybody'd get all worked up, including me. I got one of those tickets. I had to pay $300. And that changed everything for me. My whole attitude towards who the government works for, it just took a big change. Hardly any waves. We're just kind of, it's on the way out. Wasn't long ago, it was clear up. The tide was up here where the brown stops and the blonde starts. That's a neat little cat. That thing's been there for about 3 years. Every storm tears it down, and then they remodify it a little bit. One year it looked like a giant teepee. I wonder if the dogs chased the herring yet. Yeah, they're up on the high beach. That's funny. I don't know if anybody else is out. Oh, what do we got here? What is it? Oh, it's just a big raven. Huh. I'm waiting for my eagles to get back. I saw them one day, but it wasn't down here at the beach. It was up at the top of the hill. There's a crab. It looks like he might still be alive. Nope, he's hollow. It always amazes me how they can, something gets in there and eats everything from the inside out. The whole thing doesn't have a thing in them. Must be sea snails or something. There's the big cliff face. Yeah, it's wet down around the bottom edge of that too. So they had a high tide last night that came all the way up into the wood. Or more than last night. It must have been this afternoon, earlier. Because everything is still wet. Here's the rock pile. This is where all the metals and heavies would fall out. All the black sand, all the gold and silver and anything else that's locked up there. But these rocks, man, they are so smooth and round. And be locked up in that thing for millions of years. Just fascinates the heck out of me. And so I'd say that cliff right there is probably about 40 feet high, I would guess, and another 60 in trees. But that sure is going to come down at some point. This one over here was just two of them there, just barely there. In fact, look, you can see all the way down there, leaning out. And this thing is eroding quite fast. 5 years ago, when I would come down here, there was not an undercut on the bottom of that. It was actually a big hill, a mound of fallen off debris. And that's now all washed down here with the tides in front of me. But there's a lot of, this rock is so in such a variety of the types of rock that are in here, and all the smoothness as they tumbled down a river in a glacier probably. But you wouldn't find all of these in one place. I mean, that's a big old chunk of granite right there, and I'm seeing gold colored flecks. Probably they are, more than likely it's just pyrite, because it's in that black. But the way you tell is if it still shines in the shadow, then it's iron pyrite. Gold will shine in the shadow as well as in the sun, just one brighter than the other. But it's not to say there's none in there, because they travel together. Right now, if you keep track of what's going on with the metals, gold and silver particularly, it is another one, totally empty. Things are going on with it. Shanghai closed the trading down today. It was actually yesterday here, but the Monday morning trade, they froze trading on the silver because in Shanghai and in the Asian markets, they trade in real silver, not just on paper. So if you buy it, you get delivery of it. And currently, we are out of silver. They didn't have anything to deliver, so they had nothing to actually sell. They don't work on the futures market like we do on the COMEX here in America. And that's why we can have gold selling for $120 on paper, and the rest of the world says, no, it's only $80 or $75 or $69. And the difference in that is what they call a premium. And that premium is where, when there's a variation, it's open for how much it's going to cost you. It's not fixed on either one. It's somewhere in the middle, up to the dealer who you're dealing with. But all of this is something that is indicative of an economy that is in collapse, because and it's not just here, it's worldwide. We're making things that require such huge amounts of silver, and that silver is not like money. It's not circulating and coming back. You can't even recycle it because it's used in such small quantities in the electronics, but they make so much electronics equipment anymore that we are burning through the silver, and it doesn't come back. And the mining of silver isn't that clear cut. You know, people think you go out there, you see the silver, and you dig a hole and you mine it up and take the silver home and you sell it. Well, it isn't that. You go and start digging into a hillside because it had some metals in there. It could be copper, it could be zinc, it could be tin, it could be anything. It's the iron, it could be copper, it can be gold or silver. They all run together because they're all come out of volcanic action. So when you're mining one, you take what you get. It's pot luck. So if you've got an abundance of silver coming out of that mine, then great, we've got silver. But you might go down and run out of the silver fairly fast and start picking up gold, or even platinum or palladium or any other of these metals, especially the ones that have anything to do with electronics. And those are the money makers. And if you are into recycling metals, and you can go with gold or silver or whatever, and you'll make money trying to get it out of that, but your time and maybe the chemicals and everything you use to extract that stuff and refine it out makes it it's not worthwhile, because it's just too much labor intensive to get it back out of there. And like I said, with silver and electronics, you can't. It's micro thin stuff, just because silver is a metal that has more conductivity than copper. So in real high grade electronics, especially when we start getting into solar systems and stuff, silver is what you need to use. It doesn't tarnish or rust. If it's exposed to the weather, it tarnishes. Silver does, but it turns black. But it doesn't. You don't lose the metal. It's just tarnished. It comes off. So now, put this back the other way. So anyway, ooh, the sun. I better go this way. There we go. So the thing is, they're now going to go start mining up again. But Mexico kind of just broke away from the COMEX exchange in the fact that whether or not they're going to mine, because the mining stock is pretty volatile. And if you start bringing in too much of one metal, you'll cause the price to go down. So you can't just go mine out the silver. You got to mine it all and then refine out everything that's in there and separate it. So yeah, we're in a mess there too. And all of this is something that comes out of one guy. One guy is responsible for just about all of the stuff that is going wrong. That guy and the people who follow him. And the followers don't apparently have any idea what they're doing. And I don't know, you can't. We left ourselves sitting here with no way out. There's no protection anymore from anything because the crook's in the White House. He's been a crook his whole life. His whole family has been, his immediate family. So they beat the system. They always have. Money wins. And yeah, we're paying for it. I just went to the store today to go get some more coffee. And I mean, I don't drink the espresso stuff or I'm not a Starbucks drinker. I drink Folgers. And it wasn't, probably a year, maybe two ago, I was buying what then was a £1.50 can of coffee for $4. And it went up to $8, but the size of the can went down to £1. So I'm going, holy crap, they're getting this on both ends. And yesterday I went in to buy that £1 can of coffee, and it was $19.99. And it was just last week I was in there and it was $9.99. And I now wish I would have bought 5 cans, but I didn't. I didn't think it could jump that far that fast. So it doubles in price over a weekend. And it takes a long, I learned it with COVID. It doesn't come down the way it goes up. In fact, sometimes it doesn't come down again at all. So it's just, things are happening. They're supposed to happen because we've got to get through all of this and understand what to do with it, to get rid of it. I'm already seeing people coming up on YouTube and whatnot doing what do we got here? A plane flying over and his engine's off. Now that's peculiar. Huh. I wonder where he's gonna. Oh, we do have a runway down there. He's heading right toward. There he goes. Started it up again. Why would you turn your engine off while you're flying just a few hundred feet up off the water? Oh, anyway. I digressed and now I've lost my place. I forgot where I was going with that. Not that important anyway. It's mostly an observation lesson nowadays for what we're going through. If you can sit back and just watch and not get all involved in what's happening and the emotions of it all, because that's all it is just a trap trying to get you caught in. Emotional trap, get us all worked up. They're already starting to say they're campaigning and whatnot. We have the midterms coming and people are talking about the next 2026. It looks like Harris might run again, but I got a feeling the Democrats are going to put up so many custom candidates at the outset that all of the causes and stuff are going to get so diluted, and it's all going to come down to the division we had before. It's going to be the former Biden camp against the Sanders camp, and all things considered, my vote right now would have to go with Sanders to offset the things that have happened, because he's the socialist guy that wants to put things in a different order, and I'm in favor of that. I don't know yet what he's going to propose. In the past, I've stood pretty close to him, but I don't get extreme about anything. So, like I've mentioned, I think last time, is that day when it used to be that you could be fiscally Republican and socially Democrat, those days are gone. We aren't even talking about any of that stuff anymore. Everything on one side is about tax cuts for the rich. How do you cut something you're not doing? And then tax credits for us if we, but if you're in the low income bracket, you don't even file taxes. What good is a tax refund going to do if you haven't paid into it? You aren't going to get anything back. That doesn't help anybody. Well, it does, but the wrong people. And for the next another 10 years from now, after this midterm, we're going to be so tied up in trials and hearings and court and everything because of what's been happening in the last year and a half, and all the way back to the first term of the Trump presidency, because they still haven't sorted that out. He's been convicted of 34 charges, I think it is, but he had 91 charges hanging there, and the rest of them are still waiting to go to trial. They're going to convict him on those. He's already been convicted. He thinks he's going to write his own pardon, but the Supreme Court just threw that out. So he's starting to panic. And now if it wasn't for the threats and blackmail that he's got on everybody, they would probably throw him out of office if it was not going to be unbeneficial to them. So anyway, it's politics. I want everybody to be aware of what's going on enough, but I don't want to see us all get so tied up in this argument again and do what they want and start going at us, between us. The battle is not between the people. The battle is between the people who are supposed to be taking care of the people. And I don't know that I have the right answer either. I don't know if anybody does. I just know we got to do something. We can't keep doing the same thing. That's a definition of insanity if you're expecting it to be something different than it has been all along. George Washington didn't have a party. They didn't come about until after he got out of office, when he refused to go for a third term because he said we don't have kings. And from then on, the dualism went from a singularity to dualism. Thomas Jefferson, he was the, I think, either him or I can't remember if Adams if they ran a party when Adams ran and won, or if it didn't start until Jefferson, but it doesn't matter. It wasn't written into the Constitution. There is no mention that I know of in the Constitution about political parties. That's why the Supreme Court doesn't act on anything, because they aren't doing anything that other than politics. And politics is under free speech. So we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. I don't know. Something to ponder. Have a good one. Talk to you later.